All right, we are. This thing is saying that we are live.
I believe it.
All right, guys, if you are watching this on the YouTubes, I am David Snyder. I am with Ryan. This thing is saying that.
Oh, hello.
I had to turn that off real quick. I am with Ryan from Crimson Studios, my man over here.
Sorry, I'm over here. I'm trying to tweet out the stream. I tweeted out the wrong thing. I gotta go delete that tweet because someone doesn't deserve this. Well, actually, no, I just retweeted your stream twice in different ways. You're fine.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right.
All right. So today what I'm going to do, because guys, remember, I'm trying to rebrand my channel for a focused content creation thing for 2019 and turning it. And I've always had this concept that it was a business, but this is something that I'm really working on as far as branding it and then having a schedule. Every single Friday, I'm going to be creating the creator type videos. I'm calling it Creator Fridays.
Oh, fun.
And so not all of them will be live streams like this. Last week, I did one with Shenanigans, John over at Shenanigans channel. That was really fun. This week, I was able to get Ryan from Crimson Studios, who is blowing up right now. He is going nuts, especially in India.
Especially in India. Yeah, the place to be.
Right. So right now, what I wanted to ask Ryan for all of us, and I'm going to be a beneficiary from this as well. Because last time I checked, Ryan, you have about 7,000 subscribers.
Right. I'm at 7,600 right now.
Oh, you're about ready to hit 8. Didn't you just post that you hit 7,000?
I hit 7,000 like a day or so ago, day or two.
Okay, so at this rate, he is obviously going to, be the biggest YouTube channel ever.
Well, actually, I did some research. At this rate, in 5 years, I'll have 286,000.
All right, buddy.
So, I mean, I'll take it. I'll accept it.
I'll take it.
How sad is that? How, I don't know, how self-centered does that sound? Be like, I'll be okay with that, I guess.
So apparently at my current growth, and I think this is, it's not Blue Book. What was it? It was
Social Blade?
Social Blade. Yeah, Social Blade has me estimated at 100,000 subscribers by the time I'm 76.
Hey, I mean, you'll still hopefully be alive. That is kind of pushing it in the American way of living.
Well, I hope I am alive at that point, not because of vanity or anything else, but just one simple thing. My beautiful missus is having a baby soon, and we're naming him Grayson, and I want to be old enough where he has gray hair so I can call him my gray son.
Cheers to that.
That as soon as I say those words, I know I can die happy.
That is actually quite hilarious.
So, but what I want to ask Ryan for all of us today is, success on YouTube. What goes into it? You are having a level of success that right now that I think all of us small creators would probably kill for. I mean,
I'm kind of like, I'm very thankful if I'm going to be a humble YouTuber. I'll say that. I mean, I'm very thankful because it's not like I sit on my ass and I'm just like, oh, let me freeball it in front of this camera and hope things happen, which is something that I see a lot of people do. There's nothing wrong with freeballing stuff. It's not like I end up freeballing certain aspects of my content anyways, because things pop into your head. But I feel like there's this unrealistic expectation, especially within the small YouTuber community, which frankly, my mind, it really pisses me off. That you feel like you can just do whatever and have do you see gameplays that I know a lot of people are gamers. A lot of people do gaming. A lot of people say they're passionate about gaming. That's awesome. I'm passionate about it. I wish I had time to actually play games. That would be fun. But the thing is, I see videos that are it's a game and it says no commentary. And I don't understand what they're doing. Now it's different. Some people don't have quote access to they don't have an Elgato. They have an Elgato or something because they're able to record it. But they don't have access. They don't have a mic. They can't afford a mic. So that's understandable. I get that. Okay. My advice to someone like that, don't upload then until you can get a mic. Because no one gives a shit. Sorry, I'm gonna try not to swear to keep your stream clean here, unless you don't care. But
well, it's not like I'm monetized, so feel free.
Okay, I'm not gonna go crazy, but it's like I guess the first step to achieve, and this is like, so I've been doing this for like nearly 3 years since I've started YouTube again. So it's not like I started yesterday and then today I figured out how to do something right. Like at some point I'm gonna have to figure it out again, because success is a process. It's not like it's not a one-time thing. You don't succeed, you don't find success like one time and then you have all the answers. YouTube is always evolving. The algorithm's always evolving. Trends are always evolving and changing. So it's not something that you can just one time get and then you're like, all right, I got this YouTube thing. Because you see channels all the time that have been huge for years die, and like a few years later you're like, I wonder what happened to that guy. And you know, they're just gone. They fell out.
Right.
So I think the first thing that's important when it comes to success is that, one, it's a process that never ends, which is a blessing and a curse. Two is that, shoot, I had two and then it'll come back to me. Process is probably the most important part. It doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
Two is that success is different for everyone. Like the way you get it is like what worked for me may not work for you.
And it completely depends on your niche, right?
Yeah, totally. And even if you're within the same niche, it's not necessarily the same formula. You kind of need to find your own unique thing that makes you different, which is really hard to do. But if you can do it, believe me, you can do it. And you just got to find your own unique spin to put on something that makes you worth watching. You need to provide some sort of value to an audience. And I think that's something that's really important, is what do you have to offer to your audience that makes you someone that they would want to watch? If you don't provide some sort of value to them, then you're just a passing glance at best. And that's not what you want to be.
I can't remember the guy's name. His name is Robert, and the reason I can't remember it is because I can't stink and pronounce his name. And I turned it into a punchline, the video I did a couple weeks ago. But there was I did some research on this, because on Twitter there's a lot of people really griping about how they have no views, or their views went down, and all these different things. And
I love Twitter.
Twitter's great, you know.
It's wonderful. It's a never-ending bitch fest.
I know, right? And you know what's really ironic about, all right, so Twitter owned Vine, you know, a bit of a rabbit trail. Mm-hmm. And what was really funny about that was everyone was so upset at Twitter, they went to Twitter to rant about it. But in this video, well, in one of the articles that I read, and it was by WeWork.com. I don't know if you ever looked at that. They have a creator column.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And one of the lines that I really liked was, it's not about clicks, it's about souls. And the whole point of that was, how are you bringing enrichment to someone's life that is worth the investment of the only real resource that we have as human beings, which is our time? You know, everything we have in life comes by how we invest our time, and how we spend our time, and what makes you worth that investment, which is basically what you just said.
It's 100% true. It's 100% true. It's something that's taken me 2 years to figure out, but it's 100% true.
Yeah. And so I think
that's actually the biggest thing to success and finding it in this space of online video is that what value do you add to an audience?
Yeah.
I think that's actually the most important thing.
And now, all right, so let's get to the nitty gritty, because, you know, one of my favorite quotes is from Richard Branson. And he said, it took me 20 years to become an overnight success, which meant that he was grinding it out. And like you mentioned, this isn't your day one on YouTube. You've been on YouTube for, you said 4 years, and this is, you said, the second time. So you were on it before.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like when you're a kid and you're making videos on like I was on YouTube. It's not like you weren't serious about it. So I've seriously been on YouTube, like been focused on it for like 2 to 3 years.
Okay. And so within that time, let's say someone's watching this and they are brand new. I'm talking brand stinking new off of the YouTube assembly line. You know, they're now dealing with not just this romantic idea of uploading videos from your phone and, you know, just having fun and becoming big. They're now dealing with analytics. They're dealing with thumbnails. They're dealing with SEO. Can you dive into a little bit of, as far as like what that looks like as a new YouTuber? What do you recommend they look at, do they research, or they focus on? Is it more about identity than it is analytics in the beginning, or what's going on with that?
So broad, from a broad standpoint, because that's how I have to look at it, because it's like we're not talking about someone's specific niche.
Right.
You tackle things a little bit differently, probably differently by niche, but there's like some commonalities, especially for beginning. When you're just starting out, the key is you need to start building watch time so that your videos can be found. It's useless. Like it's much harder. The more watch time you have, it's easier. Watch time as in like views on your videos, the amount of time people watch garners watch time. So the more watch time you have, it's easier to rank in search with your titles, the more and more you have. So it's very key in the beginning to focus on, well, everything. So it's very important to be analytical, because I mean, you need to focus on all the aspects, but you need to focus on one, grinding out content. If you're like, I would upload as much as you can when you're first starting out to just build watch time, just so you can get going. That's what I would say. That's probably one of the bigger things. And while you're doing that, look at your stats and kind of see where the traffic's coming from. And that's kind of how you can gauge your audience. I would focus highly, no matter what level you're at. So beginning, like you're just starting out, you've been doing it for a while or whatever, on 2 things: really good titles and really, really good thumbnails. And the way you can gauge that is purely from your analytics. Like a good title, you'll know you have a good title when you get a video that hits. And then you can look at the analytics and then see where the traffic's coming from. And then the next thing I do is when you see that your video is banging, you're looking at the analytics, you're seeing that you're getting traffic from suggested and browse and all that good stuff, and search. I often get like a lot of search. So I mean, first I would focus on honestly titles a lot and thumbnails when you're just starting out, so that you can start garnering watch time. That's probably what I would focus on while you're building your brand and your personality. Because there's no point trying to be a personality and then just like make up titles and stuff out of your butt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's important to be in control of, or just be knowing where you stand, I guess, at all times.
And so
that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. And so would you recommend then, because, you know, you can have the most fantastic title, but your content's crap. You know?
So yeah, exactly. Like those only go so far. They're the most important aspect, titles and thumbnails, as far as getting someone to click initially. Because if you have a great video and then your title and thumbnail sucks, then there's no point to that great video. So you need to have those 2 things, I would say, nailed for sure, no matter what. And then your content is the most important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. Because, you know, you have the thumbnails. What you're trying to say, and I think what you said well, is the thumbnails and titles. Got a call. Yeah, so thumbnails, titles is the front door. If you walk into a house and the house is completely trashed, the contents of your house is completely trashed, you're not going to stick around. So
yes, exactly. You need the title and thumbnail is to get the click. The content is to get the subscribe.
Yeah.
So
what kind of research should new YouTubers do? You know, because you can't just have a fantastic title that ranks and you do great, you know, in the SEO department, you got a great thumbnail, but then your video is about something completely different. You know,
your thumbnail and your title need to be a doorway, like you said, to your content. So whatever you promise in the title or thumbnail needs to be in the video. You need to your title and thumbnail set up an expectation of what the video is. So looking at like this video, success on YouTube, people are going to come in here with the expectation of learning what success on YouTube is.
Right.
Right. So in order to fulfill on that, we need to fulfill on that in the video. So no matter what you say in the title and thumbnail is in your content, you just got to ask yourself when you finish writing the video or whatever you're doing, that you followed through, because that following through is you adding value. And that's what's important.
Right. Okay. So huge debate on Twitter about these hashtag movements. And you and I have talked about,
oh my gosh, I love this.
All right. So you and I have talked about this. And I have opinions, but it's not about me right now. So
oh man.
All right.
I love it.
All right, but you know, all right. So let's tackle the big kahuna. We have the I am a creator community.
Is that still really like going though? Or
believe it or not, it's still kind of limping. All right.
It's still kind of limping.
All right. And so now here's an interesting little tidbit. I would say probably about 60 to 70%, and that's just an estimate, of the people that were involved in that I knew now have less views than they did prior to joining it. And I count myself as one of them because I was in it for a hot second.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And so not proud of it, but I was a part of it.
I mean, we've all done we've all been in that moment of like, oh, I need this, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, we'll do anything to get whatever. Yeah. We've all been there. It's to say that you haven't is probably a lie. So it's like, I've been there in different ways and means. And it's like, we've all done stupid stuff. It's
gotten so bad, Ryan, that on Nick Niman's Facebook page, Facebook group, which I'm a part of, he has expressly forbid mentioning, oh my gosh, things. You know, he's sitting there talking about, okay, guys, this is not how it works.
That's hilarious. Oh man, Nick, I'm sorry you've had to stoop to us.
So give us all right, let's tackle hashtag movements. I am a creator, which, you know, James Cox is over there actually. The man needs some humility. He needs some humility. I mean, he's on Twitter saying he's the best thing since, you know, whatever. You know, so talk to me, Ryan. Your opinion.
Well, in a few years, we can laugh at it while he's still doing the same thing.
What's really funny is you've been speaking against it the whole time, and you have more subs than he does right now.
Yeah, well, it's because I mean, he doesn't know how YouTube works. Like, I've never heard him say one thing that actually is about how YouTube works at all. And like, whether or not whoever's watching this is like in it or not, I don't care. Like, that's your own business. But let me tell you something. Like Nick Niman said, that's not how it works. Like, it just don't do it. It's just it's stupid. It gives you false hope and it gives you false success. And nobody in those things gives a frick about you, really. Like, some of them might. Like, you may meet a few people. Like, I'm not going to say everyone in there's like whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like everyone doing that is in it for themselves. They secretly want everyone to be their subscriber. And they don't really care about any of the other people succeeding. Like, James doesn't really care if you succeed. You know what I mean?
Why would he?
He wants to be the leader of this movement, quote, so that he can have his own success. You know what I mean? He doesn't care about anybody in it. It's just it's all false propagation, if that's the right word.
No, you're right.
And he never actually tells you about anything about the YouTube algorithm, about how to make good thumbnails, about how to do good titles. I've never heard one of those words uttered or any of that advice uttered in a stream. And sometimes I did watch them for comedic effect because they're pretty funny. But it's funny in like a sad way. Like, you're like, oh, look at all these sad people.
The legit concern that I have, and this is a legit concern, and I can sit here and I can poke fun at that whole thing all day long.
Oh, yeah.
But my legit concern is, like you said, it gives false hope. And so you have this group of people, and it's not a small one, of people that want to create. They want to go out there and do this. but they're so blinded by this dream of success, you know, and when it doesn't happen, they burn out, you know, they totally burn out, and then they just stop.
Yeah.
And so it is totally derailing a lot of potential. A lot of potential.
Yeah.
In the long term.
Long term, I think it's very mentally damaging to be in one of those, because you find out at the end of the day, the result is always you find out it doesn't work. And that's really demotivating. So, because what it teaches you is that there's this false idea that, oh, we're small, we should support each other because we're all small. We are underappreciated. We are underexposed. YouTube is against us, so we need to help each other. That's stupid crap.
Right.
It's just and then it mind f's you because it doesn't work, and then you're in this spot of where you learned nothing, and now you have potentially like more subscribers, and then none of them actually watch anymore because you're like, man, I can't watch 1,000 videos a day from all these other people that I'm supporting, kind of stuff. And
right.
And I hate that they use the word support too. It's basically just like changing the word sub for sub to support. And the idea of changing one word to change a whole idea is ridiculous to me.
I feel like it's the identical to someone looking over at me and saying something like "freak you."
Yeah,
just tell me what you really think.
It's exactly what it is.
You know.
So here's the thing: the people that truly there's the problem I have with people on YouTube in general that complain about anything is that I feel like they have this underlying sense of entitlement. Like they are owed success. I sat here for 20 minutes and I shot this video without writing it, with a bad camera and no lighting. Where the hell is my ad revenue? Why am I not monetized?
What really gets me too, dude, is the fact that the people that are saying that, and I've looked into their watch time and what they have. Do you know how much money they would make?
Nothing.
Nothing.
They don't understand anything about YouTube. Like, look, I have like had some recent success. I'm telling you, I'm not living off this money. The money is not livable. The money isn't livable for friends of mine who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Mm-hmm. I have a friend who has 1 million subscribers, has a real job because he can't pay money from ad revenue, or doesn't make enough money from ad revenue. So I'm telling you, it's much bigger than just putting ads on your video and all that stuff that you think matters. And other thing is, you aren't owed like jack squat from YouTube. You volunteered yourself and your time to click the upload button and stuff. Right. So like, if you want to be here truly and you want that success, you'll put all that idea of like what you are owed on the back burner, and you'll just grind because it's your passion and that's what you love to do. And it's this idea that I can do whatever I want and get paid that really bugs me, because it's no one's entitled to anything in anything of life. Okay, you're born to no entitlement other than like basic human rights. Like you just like are not entitled to anything. No one's ever entitled to money or any of that stuff.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this just in, a millennial just said those words.
I know, isn't that crazy?
I've never been so proud of a millennial in my life.
Believe me, it's so funny some of my friends in real life just boggle my mind. The entitledness. It's
stupid. I don't know, man. I mean, I've started in my life. I've started 3 different businesses. All right, one of them failed. Mm-hmm. One succeeded, and I ended up selling it. Use that to start the one I now have, which is the one I, use my video making skills that I've learned over the last couple of years, and I make little marketing videos for people, and that's doing decently well. But so I have this business perspective. All right, you have to have multiple streams of income to make it work, and I know that Google AdSense, because my first business was involved in that, just the reason why it failed. you know, and so I had this going into playlist. I went to playlist last year, and I asked this question, and I can't remember who I was talking to. I can't remember his name. I never knew him before, you know, but he said he had, 10 some odd million subscribers on YouTube. I looked him up, and he was telling the truth, you know. So I asked him, what about the revenue? And he said, I make a full-time living off of YouTube. Just full disclosure. He said, I make a full-time living. But what I don't do is make a living on any regard with Google AdSense or AdWords. Or I can't. Piddly is coming through. Brand deals, however, is a different issue, And so he said he makes about 95% of his income on brand deals. That's what he said.
Yep.
And that honestly only comes after there is a long track record of consistency. And if you're using these hashtag movements, which are fickle at best, they're not going to value your channel at all, because you're looking at the engagement and there is none in comparison to the views you may have. So it's known as a dead, what is it? A dead channel is what they called it. Okay, so you have activity, but the majority of your people are doing it based on a sub for sub deal.
Yeah, and then those people get terminated for copy pasting the same comments in everyone's videos that are like the support, shared, liked, and stuff. And then they'll message me on Twitter and then be like, how do I get my channel back? Blah, 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 blah.
So this was a little while ago, but I never really comment on James Cox's live streams anymore. But I'm in there, and he and I have already had it out on Twitter and on YouTube, and so we've said our piece. There was a guy that got 1,000 subscribers in the feed. And I'm not even kidding you. About 20 minutes later in the feed, someone chimed in saying that he lost his channel.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was like the most beautiful moment. I went and popped popcorn.
Oh my.
It was great. It was great.
And I think the saddest part is like that person probably just like, they probably didn't like go in there with like malicious intent of whatever. And it's just an unfortunate mistake that results in you being, never able to upload on the platform again.
Yeah, just basically trash the whole reason why you're there.
Yeah. And I just I don't know. Dude, like, to be frank, like any small creator movement of just being like, we need to stick together as small people or whatever, you're thinking too small. Like, if you want to be successful, you got to think big. You know what I mean? As like whatever, weird or whatever that sounds like, you need to think of yourself as a professional, even when you're not.
Right.
You got to have that success mindset, or that like, I take this serious mindset, and not like this, oh, I'm small, I'm repressed mindset to achieve any level of success. You know what I mean? If you're fine with doing what you're doing, and you're going up really slow and you're just doing your thing, you're having fun, that's great. Have fun. Always have fun. You should never like do this and like hate it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just don't expect to just do whatever you want and then be successful. Like you're not making video. If you're just making videos for yourself and you're happy with it, that's cool. But like, I don't make videos for me. Like, I'm not going to make videos that I absolutely hate to make. But at the end of the day, I'm not thinking about, is this video going to make, is this video going to make me happy as like an artistic thing? No, I'm thinking about, so what does my audience want to see from me? And I'm making the videos for them because they're the ones that are watching it. You know what I mean? If I wanted to make videos that I just wanted to watch, then I'd be my only viewer. Does that make sense?
You have good style. I probably watch it too.
But does that make sense? Like that idea? Totally. You should always think about your audience first, is I guess what I'm saying. And I feel like there's this thing of like, people don't do certain things because they don't want to do it, and it wouldn't make them happy, and that's fine. I think that's something you should always consider. But don't let opportunities slip you by. just because you feel like it's selling out or something, or it's selling out because it's a trend. You know what I mean? Like trends, dude, are like the golden ticket.
They are.
You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do something that's totally morally against what your moral beliefs are, but like to just like not do a trend because it's like a trend and I'm above that morally is stupid. And then, well, it's fine as long as you don't complain about not being like not getting traction. And then someone else that did jump on that trend does. Like as long as you don't complain about them being successful and you not being, then it's fine. But if you complain about it, well, you should have just, shut up and done it, is what I think. I'm kind of done just being like this guy that's just like super nice and just like being like, oh, just do what you want to do. I'm gonna be real with everybody because I want to be real. I'm not gonna be a douchebag and be like, but if you want help, you need to hear the truth about how things just work. It's just the way it is. YouTube has an algorithm that promotes content that people are watching because all YouTube cares about at the end of the day is this website getting more watch time than yesterday?
Right.
Okay. Like I hate to be like the idea of Ryan is a douchebag. It is true. 100%. I'm fully admit it. I'd like to think that I'm not like a douchebag. Like I don't go out of my way to like be a douchebag. Like I'm just gonna be straight if that's what it means.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, I guess.
I remember you saying that.
Because it
several months ago.
It just wastes everybody's time.
Yeah. So I remember you saying that several months ago, and I think this is directly, in my opinion, I think this might be in part directly contributing to the fact that you're growing more exponentially than you were back before that. You know what I mean? Because you're being honest, and I think when people go to YouTube, at least I do, I'm not necessarily, this is just me personally, I'm not necessarily looking for a self-help. No, that's not wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm not saying that people don't go to YouTube to look for that. I'm not saying those channels don't have legitimacy.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying at all. But if I can go to someone's channel and be entertained, one, and two, walk away with more truth than I had before, that to me is more valuable.
See, that's what I've discovered having been doing this for so long is like, that's what I want to give. I want to be like, entertainment is my passion. Like comedy is my passion. I love like Stephen Colbert and Jon Stewart and like John Oliver. And it's just those, I love that. But they give you a bitch slap of truth in what they do. You know what I mean? It's comedy with a purpose. It's not just like slapstick. I'm going to be stupid, fart jokes and jump off a roof and hurt myself because it's funny or something.
You apparently watched some of my comedy skits.
Not gonna lie. It's not that they're not funny. And it does add value because it tells you what not to do.
That's true. For example, don't eat beans, cheese, and chocolate milk all in one sitting.
Oh God. No, I had I had a bad experience with like chocolate milk and then like cookie dough one time.
I
don't know why. I was in the moment. It just didn't turn over well inside.
I'm sorry to hear that. Buddy.
It's okay. I mean, going down, it was great.
Going down, it was great. But going down was not so great.
Going down, coming out was not so great.
Not so good.
But
it didn't even look the same.
I don't know. I just feel like I do believe that like anybody that I know that I've talked to like has it in them to achieve success, whatever that means for them. Like I have no doubt in my mind that you can do it. And I haven't even reached what I deem to be success yet. But I've found there are steps of success that I've hit. You can't cheat steps. Like even people that blow up in a day, you know what I mean? Or whatever. That like seemingly blow up overnight. It usually there's a ton of mini steps that you just never saw that they've had to go through. Like there's the people that are like the memes that are successful overnight or like become like a meme and then they're viral. There's a reason why they go away. It's because they didn't go through those steps.
And there is such a thing as a one-hit wonder, and it's not just in music.
Yeah, exactly. And for those, it's people that got success before they really understood how that is, or you know what I mean, or how to handle it, or basically how it happened, I guess. You know what I mean? Whereas like I can look at my analytics and I know what did what. Basically, the success I've had, I'll use my friend Eric, my partner Eric's success because it's even bigger. He's had his latest, one of his latest videos is going to hit 500,000 views in like a day or two from now. It'll hit 500,000 views, and then he has a string of videos after it that are like hundreds of thousands of views in a row. Like we did these 3 videos in a row. We found a topic that was in demand. People wanted videos on it, but there had not been videos to meet that demand yet. So we just met it for them. If that makes sense. Like we totally. So that's what you need to look for, especially when you're smaller. When you're smaller, it's hard to hit a trend that everyone is doing because everyone's doing it. So the big people that are doing it automatically get ahead of you when you're small, even at my size. And I'm not big. Like when I'm talking big, I mean like 100,000 and above are doing it.
Sure.
So you need to look for those microcosms, mini trends that are not even trends, but just topics of interest that you know people want to hear about. But there aren't a lot of videos on it, and they can be hard to find. But if you do the research and you type in keywords and you do all that stuff, and you take time to do this, not just like I sit down for 5 minutes and then give up kind of thing, you'll find something that you can make a video on that could lead to just a string of videos that help you grow. And you may not grow like 10,000 subs overnight, 100,000 subs overnight, or over a week. You may grow like several hundred subs in a week, but that's still a success. Like I take that.
Yeah, I would too. The last time I had that was when I first started. And that's because my family realized I had a YouTube channel. It's been a trickle ever since, you know.
I mean, everyone goes through like we were talking before about like everybody, no matter what, like you have moments of this kind of thing where you're going like vertically inclined growth, or like even like this, and then you flatline or you go down, your growth is lower. And then you always have peaks and valleys, like no matter what, everyone goes through that. Right. So it's how you handle those peaks and valleys is what matter. You need to go into the peaks mentally preparing for a valley or a plateau and a valley. And you just keep moving forward because you know that eventually you'll hit that peak again, and the peak could be bigger than the last one. So I think that's just the mindset you have to have.
Right. All right. Now let's talk about something a little more practical, because you mentioned something that I think is very valuable. Let's talk a little bit more about the research aspect to creating on YouTube. So you and your business partner there did some research. You found a topic that people are looking for but are not necessarily creating for. And you slipped into that little niche there, not niche, but you slipped into that category and you made a video on it and you're benefiting from it.
Yeah.
It's a sound business strategy. How do you do the research? What does the research process look like? How does someone like myself or someone that just starts?
Okay, so someone that
how do we go when we find
what I do a lot of times is because I get a lot of comments. I'll look at the comments and see what people are talking about, so I can do searches based off what people are saying. But what I guess when there's nothing, which still happens to me, and there's like nothing going on, something that you should do, and I've done in the past a lot of, is you can go on. I would use, like, honestly, like look at like Google Trends. You know what I mean? Like look at googletrends.com. Look at things that people are searching for, because that like literally shows you what people are showing for. It shows you like literally how relevant it is. It gives you a graph of like, if it's going up, it means people are searching for it more. If it's going down, it means no one's searching for this anymore. And then I would go off that, and then you could actually type in different words into Google Trends based on your niche. So like I use gaming a lot just as an example, just because like it's easy to do whatever, like Red Dead Redemption or whatever. You can type that in. And then even on YouTube, if you just search Red Dead Redemption, it auto fills in words. Go down that list of auto filled in words and then see what the videos are. The more words you have in there, the more specific something is. So the less videos there will be made on it. Like the worst thing you can do is have a super broad phrase like Red Dead Redemption gameplay. Because yes, it is very searched for, but it's like literally everyone that is anybody is doing that.
Right.
And you'll never rank on it. Does that make sense a little bit? So like when you're doing search, be as specific as you can with search use. So like it'd be like Red Redemption tips and tricks, or like lore behind something. Or does that make so? Like my friend's video that blew up was on a fake supercar that doesn't actually exist, but they're promoting it as a real thing that is going to be sold. It's supposed to be an affordable supercar that has 500,000 horsepower. Thing is totally not real. Whatever. I don't exactly remember how he found it, but when we found the Devel, is called the Devel 16. It's not like we what the first thing we did is we put Devel 16 into the search, and then we did autofills after it to see what people were searching for, so we could specify it down. But to find topics in general, I literally would use Google Trends and then try to use your genre to narrow down the search.
Yeah. So with another example, I just uploaded this past week. I uploaded a channel trailer for 2019, and in that channel trailer, title something to the effect of my new channel trailer, which was something that I found had some search volume, but the reason I put the 2019 at the tail end of it is because that was that key phrase that was more open, for me to tap into. And after I uploaded that, I did get like 5 or 6 subscribers the first day I did it, because I put that 2019 at the end of that.
Yeah, you narrowed your search and made it more specific.
Right. And that's free.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I see. That's the thing is, like, you don't like using Google Trends and stuff, and like just YouTube as a thing to search keywords with is like honestly the best way to do it. Like people use TubeBuddy and vidIQ, and I feel like they lean on it too much. Like those things don't work. Just because it says green doesn't mean it's good necessarily. You know what I mean?
I've noticed this where I think TubeBuddy has a lot.
TubeBuddy's messed up right now.
Yeah, I think that TubeBuddy has some really cool tools that can be used, but so I have vidIQ, TubeBuddy. I was actually given a free copy of a free access to TubeBuddy because of the baby announcement, the pregnancy announcement video. They were on Twitter and they saw that, and somehow they got tagged in that thread, and they're like, "Hey, we're going to give you something." So I've been using it, and but I also have vidIQ, the free version, and I have Keywords Everywhere. And all of those are just plugins to Chrome. All of those show up on the sidebar, and I can use them in conjunction with my analytics.
Yep, you can. I do that same thing. I use it to cross-reference everything.
But do you know what's really interesting, though, is they all disagree.
That is pretty funny. I mean,
the openness of a key phrase, or how good a key phrase is, or how much I could rank for a key phrase, according to vidIQ, TubeBuddy, and Keywords Everywhere, they all disagree. TubeBuddy told me that this one key phrase had a 78, awesome, good level. You should go for it.
Right.
Keywords Everywhere gave it a 2.
Yeah. So I have this problem where I use Morning Fame and I use TubeBuddy, and they do this thing all the time. And then I just basically go with my gut. It's like, I look at then what YouTube is showing me when I search it. And then the thing you do is you look at the videos that are there, how their views are, what the subscribers are. And then if there's like a person in this, so if I do like a search for I have a phrase, I put it in, it shows like several videos that got like hundreds of thousands of views, and then there's a video with like 10,000 or 5,000. Then I'm like, okay, that's good news because like 5,000 views, that's not that many really in relation to the other ones. So that I could probably rank maybe. Then you look at the subscribers, and then it's like if they have like 30 subs or 100 subs, I'm like, all right, going for this keyword because I know I have more subscribers than them, so I automatically, at least for a minute, rank higher than them on that search.
Right.
So it's really like, honestly, here's my best advice. If you want to know about keywords and stuff like that, go to my friend Brian G. Johnson or my friend Nick Nimen's channel. And you know who these people are, David. You know Nick Nimen. Great guy. Go to their channel. Know Brian. They have videos on these things that are much more specific and explained. Definitely watch that and take some notes.
And one of my life goals has become to get to know Brian personally.
You know, he is a funky cat. Let me tell you. I have Skyped with him and I met him at Vid Summit. I hope you come to Vid Summit next year.
I want to.
Come. Even if you need a place to stay, even I live like we just Uber over there. If you need a place to stay, even just hit me up. My office is actually, I'm not gonna dox myself. You don't know where I work. But anyway, but basically, you can stay with me, and we'll go over to Vid Summit. But that's where I met Brian, and he's really nice. He's really wacky guy.
Yeah, Vid Summit's on my list of things I want to go to, and we already have money set aside for the flights and
awesome
going over. But the who knows? Maybe we can use your studio to film a few things while we're there.
That would be great. I'd love to do that. I mean, that's kind of what I want to do is get some more people. We had one person for Vid Summit this year come over and film a collab with us that we still need to put together. But he filmed stuff with us at our office and then went back because they're all really close to each other. So.
All right. So I know that your time is very precious. You are doing this YouTube thing full time. You are an actor.
Dude, I am honestly like most fortunate 22-year-old in the world that isn't famous. like Millie Bobby Brown got me beat as far as like fortunateness.
Oh, okay. So that reminded me of, I forgot to say this. You mentioned Brian G.
Yeah.
Brian G. Johnson, who's my man. I love his stuff.
Yeah.
And Nick Nimen too. But you know what? Personality wise, I feel like I'd want to chill more with Brian.
Brian, yeah, I could see that.
You know, I just feel like I would be able to, you know, cut up with him a bit more. But it was for I think 30 to 40 minutes, and I tracked this. You know, I was so proud of the SEO work I did for one of my creator stuff. I beat him in the ranking for 30 minutes.
You better screenshot that, man.
I didn't screenshot it. I have no proof. I have no proof.
See, next time, that's what you do. You post it in the 2 Ritual group on Facebook, and you just be like, take that, Brian.
And it only lasted for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. And as I thought would happen, he passed me. But, you know,
that's pretty. Yeah, take the small wins.
You got to take those small wins. For 30 minutes, I had it all. I had it all.
You know what's funny? I've done that same thing because I've done like some videos on like copyright and stuff like that. And or certain things are like, I think I did like a how to be successful on YouTube video like a year ago or like several months ago. And it was like the same title as Brian's. Like I used it specifically and I ranked for like a couple hours, like right above him. I definitely screenshotted that. I just remember I was like, but I had that same moment of pride where I was like, the student has become the master.
I know. Yeah. But I remember looking at it and I did some like, yes.
Yep. I know that feeling.
It's like, I ran downstairs, told Bailey about it, and she had literally was like, why is that a big deal?
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. She keeps you grounded.
She does. She does in all things. It's a very good thing. She is my ballast. You know, so I like my wife. She's really
but honestly, like as far as like overall looking at success.
Come on, let's
overall
bring this puppy home.
It's such a broad word. the key is that you are always trying to learn something you like, whether figure out what your weaknesses are. Do you struggle mostly with SEO, or is it like an aspect of making your video? Is it like your sound, or is it your camera quality, or is it your editing? Is it your performance? You got to think about what you struggle with most, because those are the things you should focus on the most to improve. And when you improve them, then you can move on to the next thing that you need to improve, because it's a step-by-step thing, and everyone's at a different step. So success is just little steps, and then like long-term success is what you want. So you have to take each little step, if that makes sense.
Totally.
And I think the biggest key is to not get caught up in like these creator movements and stuff like that give false success and then ultimately demotivate you because it didn't work. The key is to just realize that everyone that is ever successful in life, and that is like YouTuber full-time or whatever, has gone through these emotions of having to learn these things, whether you think they did or not. They're probably like, even Jake Paul is fucking, smarter than we probably think. You know what I mean? Like, he may be an idiot, right, but he's not dumb when it comes to the game. He knows the game. He's winning the game. The game has bit him in the butt a few times, but he knows the game.
Just a few.
Just a few times. But all of this is just, if you can just, it's hard because it's something I've had to learn. And like my Eric, my business partner, is like, he keeps telling me he's proud of me because I've learned to be patient. I used to be the worst. I'm like, I want success now. I want it. But it's like in the back of my head, like, it's like, I always know like success is earned. It's not deserved. I like when I see people like get 100,000 subs and then I see like, oh, you deserve this. And I'm like, no, they didn't really deserve it, but they earned it. They earned having, does that make sense? Like, they earned where they are. No one deserves anything. You know what I mean? They earned the spot.
99.99998% of the time, it's because you put the grind in and you've committed yourself to the marathon that is YouTube.
Don't focus on making that one viral video. Focus on making these 10 amazing videos that will get you to the next step each time. That's what I think. And then one of those could be a freaking viral video. You just don't know. Yeah. But don't focus on making a viral video. When you do that, you lose.
If you make quality videos, I mean, there's also this concept of, it is archived. People will go back and watch it over time as you grow. I mean, it's the videos I made way back when I first started YouTube, which was a year ago next month. And there's still, some of them are still getting comments and still getting some likes, and I'm getting some traction on those videos because they're on my channel. People discover my channel, they flip through stuff. Yep. I don't know if you do this. Whenever I find someone new, like when I first discovered,
I always go back to their first video
and I compare it. So literally every single person that I'm subscribed to, I have watched their recent one and I've watched their first one.
I always go back to the first one because I like to see where they came from,
and I want to see the progress.
And a lot of times you'll see sometimes you'll see some great, unless they deleted videos, you'll see some great, like, you should, like, on my channel, I had my very first video ever that I posted in 2008, which isn't even a good example of how I've grown, because like I took like a 6-7 year hiatus of not doing YouTube. But if you look at that from like when I was a kid to like even my first video coming, I even have like videos up from when I came back where it's just like I filmed on my phone and I was doing a vlog that makes no sense and I sound like a total like tool. Like I have some of those up, and like you can see like obviously my editing improved, everything improved, like everything. I took those and I'm still taking these little steps. Like, you never stop learning in this online video game, no matter what platform you're on. No matter what platform you're on, you're taking the same steps. It's just on a different medium, is what I think.
Right. Yeah. In some of the first videos that I posted, when I posted them, I was proud of them. Now that I rewatch them, I am a little embarrassed.
I'm still proud of them. Yeah, of course. I'm still proud of the videos where I rip off my shirt for no apparent reason.
You would get 10,000 subs today. if you just did that right now.
I know, Eric would kill me. So.
All right. So this is not my first YouTube attempt. I had YouTube 2 years ago, and my first video was me tearing off my shirt. Ironically, YouTube said that I owed them subscribers.
Wow. I guess if anyone is owed anything, it is YouTube.
You owe us a play button, David. Okay, yes, sir.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, let's close this up. I know you're busy, and I need to run and do stuff too. So,
well, let's just close it up by like saying key to success: patience. Do your research of whatever genre you're in. Do the research. Learn SEO. Learn good editing. Watch people that are successful in your genre. See what they've done. See how they've grown. Like, go through their videos from long ago to now. See what they're doing that has brought them, what they've evolved and how they've learned, so that you can kind of emulate it in some sense. And ultimately have fun with what you're doing. And as long as you're having fun and you keep striving to be better, you will have those bits of success.
Yeah. So guys, this has been Ryan. If you're not aware, Ryan from Crimson Studios, check out his channel too. I haven't had time to really put it in the description. I will here in a second though.
I'm happy I could be here. We'll do it again.
No, I really appreciate it. And then eventually I'll have a better setup, and you won't have to look at, this crap behind me.
Me too.
But yeah, so I want to thank you. Thanks a lot for coming on here, Ryan. You've been a great friend and resource for us.
Always hit me up. You've been an awesome person. We have great talks.
Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll do a Jon Stewart style interview where we just.
I want everyone in here to know right now that down the line we've made a pact. I don't know if you remember. We made a pact.
I do remember
that whoever blows up, that person is going to start a podcast, and we are going to do a podcast. Okay. That is going to happen 100% because we swore over the voice of telephone.
That's right.
Facebook.
That's
so
right.
When you do that, you make a Facebook pact. Can't take those back.
That's right, Nude. It's called coattails.
Coattails.
We're riding each other's coattails.
Legit. That's what we should call it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a friend who does the same thing. He was like, dude, if I get rich or you get rich, coattails.
Coattails.
It's our key phrase. It's our key word. All right. Well, I appreciate it, Ryan. Thank you so much. I'm going to go and hang out with my very pregnant, beautiful missus.
I gotta run to the store and then read my script and find out that what I wrote wasn't as funny as I thought the first time.
Yeah, it's basically every single stinking comedy skit I've ever made, which, by the way, this conversation has made me rethink the validity of making those.
I mean, you got to do them, but you got to do them in like little bits.
In little bits?
Well, I like to do sketches like in between moments of something to break it up or make a point with the skit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you want to go full Smosh. In that case, just keep doing it, because I think you could even make better stuff than Smosh is right now.
Look, all right, so I found YouTube channels that do nothing but comedy sketches, and there's no point to them. They're stupid, and they're way more successful than me.
Believe me, no. I'm in my next video, I'm talking about a very channel that does that, super successful, and I'm like, I wish I could do that.
Yeah,
just not on the cards right now. Maybe down the line. Have a separate channel that does that. Once you have some traction, you can, send some stuff over there and do that.
I'm still working on setting up everything in here. And once I do, the baby comes next year, I'm going to start that niche channel you and I talked about.
Dude, you guys in the audience, you better be hyped, because this thing's going to be hilarious. It's going to be great.
And so
it's going to be great. I cannot wait.
So I'm working on that niche channel. I'm working on merch and all that stuff. I mean, when we launch it, we're launching it right. We're doing it.
As long as your merch is better than Markiplier's merch that I don't even know what they were thinking, but apparently they're making bajillions on right now.
Well, that's stupid, because mine will be better.
They literally, all it is, just before we go, it's called Cloak. And this is like a free advertisement in which I bash it. It's called Cloak. And literally, like, they have a shirt that's just a white t-shirt. It's like $58.
A white t-shirt?
White t-shirt.
What?
And it's fashion. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. I just think, I'm like, you didn't really put effort into designing these, did you? Like, come on. Tell us the truth.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
Right,
I'm just
on that note. I'll let you take it away.
this just pisses me off. You know, you have it's like making a book, calling it book, and then you open it up and it just says "read me," and there's nothing in it.
One day that'll be a book that we write.
You know. All right, guys. Well, appreciate the time that you have invested in this live stream. Appreciate you, Ryan, for investing your time.
Always.
We're gonna just come back at you on Wednesday with another video. Probably try to make it a funny one, but I'll make it have a point, Ryan. Jeez, get off my back. Yeah, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks, Ryan.